Hey guys, let's talk about the 9-ounce dummies and how to build them. So the materials we used is 3/4 inch plywood, some 2x4s, some 1 inch and 1/2 inch PVC, um, and assorted fasteners like the eyelets, locking carabiner, washers, screws there, um, elastic. This is an airplane pillow. Um, pipe insulation. Um, we went to the dollar store, or not the dollar store, the Goodwill, and got some clothes. We have some lock nuts on the bolts or screws that are in the um, joints. So let's walk through this. So I have a very rough sketch. This is not to scale. This is just very rough. So for instance, right here, we've got the 2x4 that is the short end is attached to the um, back. You know, it's kind of hard to draw things to scale because if you look down here, this is actually flat. Lost it there. Let's go over to the back. So this is laying flat against it, the back. So just keep that in mind that this is not drawn to scale, okay? I do have measurements here for how long the upper arm and the lower arm is. The upper arm and leg are made out of 1-inch PVC, whereas the lower arms and legs are made out of 1/2 inch. And the reason for that is the joints that we're using. Let's see if we can do, is this the video? Okay, so this is the video that's showing essentially that arm and or leg. What you do is you have to cut out some of the PVC so that you can put the lower arm, lower leg into that joint. And it's secured with a bolt and a lock nut. So not terribly difficult to do. I did not measure the cutout distance here, I don't think. Judging by my finger width, looking at probably 2 inches. And it looks like it's just 1/2 inch wide, and then trimmed up a little bit there, so it's not jagged. We're using lock nuts to make sure that things don't come apart. The same reason why we use the locking carabiner right here, so that the shoulder doesn't come off. The shoulder is fairly easy. It is, we just drilled a hole through the PVC up here so that we could attach the bolt through so that the arm can flop around. So the lower leg attaching to the upper leg is very similar. Obviously, it's done in such a way that, let's go over to the hip joint. It's done in such a way that, you know, the leg can open naturally. You know, this doesn't flop around quite the same as the shoulder does. So here we've got, we just drilled straight through the PVC, and we're using a very long screw to go through it. The screw is smaller than the hole that we created through it, so we're using that washer. It's all intentional so that you have movement here. The leg has a pretty good range of motion. It's not tightened tightly to the 2x4 here. Again, that's to kind of simulate the joint. Here's a kind of a view in there showing the screw is indeed smaller. And that's just another image of the hip joint. So looking at the back, the shoulder is where we've got the 2x4. That's what the shoulder screws into. And to kind of level out the back, we have this block of wood here. It honestly doesn't need to be 5 inches, just whatever helps kind of, whenever you lay it on a flat surface, you know, the back should hopefully lay flat. If your back does not lay flat, we've got problems. So we've got the elastic here and here. In this first image that I showed you, we've got this airplane blow-up pillow. that we have attached for the stomach, this is going to hold in the CPR dummy head torso. So we are using the American Heart Association's Anytime Training Kit. So it comes with this guy right here. And so that's what that strap is holding in. It's holding in the upper torso, and then the head kind of dangles off. You know, these are not terribly expensive, which is why we like them. Full body dummy is going to cost like $1,000. So again, we used pipe insulation. Pipe insulation better than pool noodles because you can get them in better sizing to go over these PVC pipes. We also wrapped it with various material to kind of thicken up the leg to make it more realistic. What I did not take a picture of because it was all wrapped up and difficult to get to, as you can see here, is the broken limbs. So essentially, it's really easy. You would just cut this, and you could use a joining piece to temporarily put it together when you don't need it to be broken. When it does need to be broken, you do want to make sure that you've drilled a hole through both sides of the brake and you've tied them together loosely enough that it's obviously a brake, but not so loosely that they can pull off the arm or pull it out or the leg so that it stays together. I think that about covers it. This image is just showing that we use a child size 13 shoe for the foot, and I don't know that I've looked at what size pants these are, but honestly, you can get, my thought process, you can get any pants and we can just safety pin them tight. That might actually make it easier to get the pants on and off, you know, add bulk to the legs, that sort of thing. I think we use skinny jeans here. Let me know if you have any questions, if I missed anything.